Welcome to RomWills Money Matters. Hold on to your business customers. Hold on to your business customers. I'm going to tell you what. I don't care what business you get into, what business that you want to run. I don't care. It could be cleaning something. It could be selling some products. It could be doing massage services, whatever. The most important thing, well, it's very important that you do the job well. That's important. But it's very important that you keep your customers. You keep your customers. I'll never forget what somebody said about a major phone company and the ads they were running. And this was a while ago, but it always stuck with me. He said this particular company, I'm not going to tell you the company, but they were running ads not so much to get new customers, but to keep the ones that they had. Now, I'm going to tell you what, that's very important, because once you get the customers, think about it just common sense wise. They are the ones who are giving you, their money. They're the ones who are coming back. In fact, they're the ones who might be advertising for you, because if you get a happy customer and somebody else needs your services or your product, they would tell them. That's actually better. In fact, for my book, Nice Guys and Players, it's been an international bestseller. But I've never advertised it. I've never advertised it. I never paid for an ad, anything of that nature. People just liked it. It was a word of mouth revolution. But those were the customers. Most of them liked it. And even the ones who didn't like it, they still told other people. Other people was hear them maybe put it down or something, or give it a bad review and check it out for themselves. But it was still the customers. I'm going to tell you what, you have to maintain your service. And I mean, that's why when I go into any store, any restaurant, I'm really big on customer service. When I go into restaurants, if I have a server who is constantly checking on me, constantly seeing what I'm doing, I'll tip them extra. I will tip them extra. Like me and my sons, we were in a restaurant this past week, my time. First time we had been there. Like I said, we usually go out once a weekend together. Yeah, well, we're cool like that. Yeah, they older, but we still cool like that. And whenever I have a server that just pretty much get my order and they don't check on me or anything, I still give them a tip, but not as big. I give them what I consider a regular tip. But when I have a server who checks on me all the time, I'm like, oh, okay. In fact, there are a couple restaurants, and they probably won't see me again because I did not like the customer service. But you have to hold on to your customers, because I don't care what you're doing. I don't care. Because one thing about advertising, it really isn't that good. It really doesn't help many businesses. Some businesses it might help, and even those businesses, they might be doing it to keep their customers, to remind them, to say, hey, come back here for it. That's the thing. But your customers are important because they're spending money. They're spending money constantly. And I remember this bookstore owner, may he rest in peace, or peace be unto him, because he was Muslim. I'll never forget what he said. He said, to stay in business, you just need 100 customers buying something every month. 100. Yeah, I was just like, But then I look back at it, I was like, that makes a lot of sense depending on where he was and everything. That's very important. You want to keep the customers coming back. You want repeat business. You want them to love you so much, not only they coming back, but they letting other people know. That's what you want to do. When you have any customer, great customer service. Great customer service. Even in situations when something might go wrong. You want to be able to take care of it, and especially if it's a valued customer. In fact, some businesses, they might have something for their more valued customers. They might say, hey, you buy a certain amount of stuff, I'm going to hook you up. Or you always come in here, I'm going to give you a discount. Or if you buying a certain amount, a discount. Like doing something for the customers. Like some places, like a local comic book store. Whenever they having a special day, they'll have some cake in there. You want to do stuff like that. You want to let them know that you appreciate them. Because I don't care how well you can do the business. I don't care what you selling, what service you provide. You have to have the customers. That is very important. That's very important. You got to think about them. You doing it for them. They're the ones who are keeping money in your pockets. They're the ones who are coming back. They letting people know they coming in there. Indeed, I remember this restaurant owner, and he owned a vegan restaurant. He had this guy that was taking all of these pills, and he changed that guy. That guy was able to get off the pills because of the food that he was getting there. That guy would come in all the time. You want something, whether it's food or especially food. Let me just talk about that for a second. You serving food, you want them to come back. You want their food to be so good. You want them picking their fingers and telling people. Shoot, you can create something just that way. But you want them to come back. You don't want them thinking, oh, I don't want to get it from here. Because that's one of the things. Because I want you to think about any business, any service. Most businesses and services can be repeated someplace else. There is always some competitor. You want to take that in consideration. You don't want them going to your competitor, even if they have to go out their way for it. You want them thinking, oh, let me go here. Indeed, when I was working on one of my 1,000 jobs, I was working at a gym, and it was part of a hotel. And it was part of a hotel, but it was also part of a big chain. And we had several bigger gyms near us within walking distance. But we would beat them out because as soon as somebody came in, they didn't have to check in. We already knew them. We knew how many towels they wanted. We knew them. We would talk with them, everything of that basis. We out customer serviced everybody. Because that's all we could do. Because even if you have competitors, and you should, and even if you have competitors near you, within like reasonable walking distance within you, you can still beat them out with your customers. I want y'all to think about that. I want you to think about that. No matter what business you have, you want to have great customer service. Once you get that customer, you want them to come back. All right? So, anyway, that's all I have for today. Y'all know the deal. Let's go make that money.